Yes, welcome back again to Footaweight. Let's talk football episode. My name is Ehis Anthony, the calm after the storm. Now, I'm not here alone. I have Okwe. Okwe, what's up? How you doing?
Very well, thank you. It's good to be on another episode of Fit With Podcast. I think it's a good day to wear an Arsenal jersey. I would say I'm very proud to be an Arsenal fan today.
Unfortunately, I wanted Chibamaka to be on the show, and I wanted maybe Dikpo to be on the show, but we're both of us, just the two of us, to talk about what happened over the weekend. And the major talking point of over the weekend was, I think other games just went by so quick, and we got to Sunday, which was the game between Liverpool and Brighton at Anfield, and the game between Man City and Arsenal. Not the results a lot of people expected, because a lot of people expected Man City to like blitz through Arsenal, but we saw a different Arsenal yesterday. And Liverpool, it was expected. Though I predicted a potential banana skin, because Brighton had a very good fortune for the past 2 years. Since 2022, they've not lost a game at Anfield, so I felt they might carry on with that momentum. But Liverpool could have won that game like 7 to 8-0 if they are taking the chances. And Mo Salah creating a record of having the most shots for a player in a game. I think he had close to 12 shots, over 10 to 12 shots that same day, though he scored the winning goal. But Liverpool won the battle, but have they won the war? We don't know till May. Is this Liverpool's title to lose?
Definitely it is. Earlier today, I was looking at the run of fixtures for the three teams, and I think it's fair if I say that Liverpool has an easier fixture schedule. Taking a look at the teams that they have to face, with all due respect to all the teams, I think the only team that might pose a major threat to them has to be Manchester United. And then again, Liverpool have a good record against Man United in recent seasons. And then when you take a look at this season, you see the way Man U has been in terms of their form, you will definitely take Liverpool for the win. So I think it's up to them not to drop points if they really, really want to win this Premier League. I think the players have been spurred on by the fact that Jurgen Klopp is leaving. Yep. They want him to leave on a high note, and I think honestly the players are giving their all for him. But definitely it's their title to win, so it's up to Liverpool at the end of the day. I think the only issue for me with them is the fact that they would always concede a goal or two. And I think it's going to be a problem, especially when they face teams who are going to punish them with goals. So they just need to be a bit more tidy at the back. They need to be a bit more steady in terms of controlling games. Yeah. If they're able to make those two in the board, those two issues, I think they'll be good. They'll be a show for the title.
But looking at their fixtures, they have visitors Sheffield United on Thursday, and after that they go to Theatre of Dreams, Old Trafford, and after that they play Europa League, a tie with Atlanta. Atlanta currently are in good form. See what they did to Napoli, beating Napoli at home over the weekend 3-0. That's the Italian champions, beating them 3-0. And after that, they go to play Crystal Palace and also play Atlanta. But you mentioned something. Liverpool, they've been giving the opponent, opportunity to have a go at them. And, well, we could say it was a weakened... Would you say it was a weakened Brighton side? No, I wouldn't say that. Yes, they had a couple of injury issues.
Yeah.
But hadn't been Brighton was at full strength, possibly they could have hurt Liverpool, because there were times in that game where they had a couple of chances in the first half to have extended the lead. Even while Liverpool equalized before they scored the winning goal, they had chances as well. Even after Liverpool scored the winning goal, before the 90th minute, Brighton had a few chances. Could we say, because the whole defensive responsibility has been put on the shoulders of Van Dijk, and having to, I think it was Konza, right? If I pronounce his name right, was the one that paired him at the back against Brighton, and I'm sure he had to do a lot of tutoring. You have to be there positioning wise, having to tell him what to do. Is it a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of Van Dijk, being the captain and also being the only one experienced at the back line that day, the most experienced?
I really don't think so. I think since the 2019-20 season, he has assumed a leadership position at Liverpool. He's an ex-centre back. He's 32 years old, if I'm not mistaken. So he has been at different roles at Liverpool in his career. He has been the new player. He has been the main man, and right now he's at a point where um, he's tutoring. And for a professional, I don't think that that has a major weight on him because the quality of Gerald Konsa is there for us to see.
But he's not
Yes, he's young.
experienced.
Yes, he's raw, but exactly, he's not experienced quite all right. But he's a good player, and I think he makes good decisions, in my own opinion. But for me, where the criticism comes in for Van Dijk has to be his own personal style when it comes to trying to defend. I'm not a big fan of him backing away from players and not going into duels. I personally don't like that, especially when the ball is on the ground. You rather push a fullback forward, you rather push a midfielder forward, so he has the final say, or he's there to clear the ball. I really don't buy into that method of defending, and I think because of that, I think that's probably the only reason why for a long time this season he was the only defender who had not been dribbled
Yeah.
past. He was one of the few defenders who had not been in the Premier League. I don't buy into that. So, but generally for me, I think he has been in good form this season. Uh, and then another thing I don't really understand is why Jurgen Klopp keeps on changing the defensive partnership. I find it difficult to understand why Gerald Kosa sometimes gets game time ahead of Konate. Yes, I understand that. I don't understand that they've got a good run of fixtures coming up. That was keep players fresh and whatnot. But I think I've seen in some games where I would expect a Konate to start, and I don't see him starting. It's Konsa. So I think it's up to Jurgen Klopp to know what he wants to do going forward. Because for me, if you constantly change your centre back pairing, you would always have issues. You would always have issues where you don't concede goals. When you break the synergy of his spine, it's a problem. It's not going to be smooth anymore. So if it works for Jurgen Klopp, quite all right. But I believe Liverpool will still be suspect at the back.
Now, it's like I mentioned earlier, it's a three-horse race. We can't deny this. Despite, from the beginning of the season, the only teams that were tipped to contend for the EPL title, and I stand to be corrected, were to be Man City and Liverpool. People didn't really consider Arsenal because they felt last season was the opportunity they had to win it, despite falling out. And would they be able to repeat the same thing going in to compete for or contend for the EPL title? But here we are, 9 games to go. They're in the running, 2 points away from the first position. Now, it's a three-horse race. The battle, Liverpool won the battle over this weekend. The weekend before the international break, Arsenal won the battle. When Liverpool and Man City met, they shared the spoils. Arsenal did the job against Brentford. They went ahead, sitting comfortably at the top of the pile. Now, Liverpool won this weekend against Brighton, and Arsenal, Manchester City shared the spoils. So, looking at this topic we're discussing, is it Liverpool's title to lose? Where in the running, in the remaining 9 games, do you see Liverpool dropping points? Because on paper, like I mentioned the last time we were here, they have the easiest fixtures among these 3 teams. So where do you see Liverpool dropping points in the EPL? Like we said, there will be dips and turns in these remaining 9 games. Liverpool, Sheffield on Thursday, Sheffield United, Manchester United versus Liverpool at Old Trafford, Liverpool, Crystal Palace, they go to Craven Cottage, they play their neighbour at Goodison Park, Everton, West Ham away, Tottenham at home, Aston Villa away, and their final game, Wolves. Do you see them dropping points in any of these remaining 9 games?
I think first of all, maybe on paper, if we take a look at it on paper, I think the first game you see maybe Liverpool where you see Liverpool's title challenge being at risk, maybe it has to be the game against Spurs. I'm taking a look at it right now. The game against United, I really don't see how United wants to nick a point from Liverpool without due respect to them. But honestly, first of all, before I go on, I must say that this is the English Premier League and anything is possible. I think one of the reasons why it is the most watched league in the world is because of its unpredictability. Yep. So I take a look just for them: Sheffield United, Manchester United, Crystal Palace, Fulham, Everton, West Ham, Spurs, Aston Villa, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Honestly, any of these teams could nick points against Liverpool. Crystal Palace would be desperate to get a result because they would want to be comfortable going into the last couple of fixtures at the end of the season. I believe attaining 40 points would be an achievement for Crystal Palace, so they'll be looking forward to
Mm-hmm.
doing that. Fulham as well. Fulham honestly shocked me this second half of the season. I think the signings they've made have been helpful
really
to them,
helped.
made them compact a bit. Had a bit more quality in depth for the standard of the team. Getting in the likes of Adama Traore and Rodrigo Muniz, who has scored 8 goals in 8 games, has been fantastic for them. Everton, on the other hand, they've had a top 6 for this season and they're highly inconsistent. West Ham as well has been suffering in the second half of the season. I think majorly because they've been playing Europa League and it's been difficult for David Moyes to balance the team. But they are very dangerous. They've got an informed again, Michael Antonio, Jared Bowen. You have people solid in the midfield, and obviously they are Ghanaian missing Mohamed Kudus, who could do damage to any team. And then Spurs,
we saw West Ham bottling a 3-1 lead last weekend.
Yeah, true, but at the end of the day, Spurs is a team that can always do damage to you. If you let them, they will do damage. They've got a very, very exciting lineup, and I think they're well balanced at the back as well. Aston Villa, honestly, has been one thing that has impressed me this season, especially under Unai Emery. I think they've exceeded expectations, in my own opinion, and don't be surprised if they finish in a Champions League position. So they've got what it takes to nick a win as well. Aston Villa is also in the Europa League, balancing in has been a problem for them. And Wolverhampton Wanderers, they could turn up on any day. They know what they can do. They've done damage to the life of Man City in the past before, so you should be wary of them. But I take a look at these fixtures for Liverpool. I think the game against Crystal Palace needs to be watched. I think the game against West Ham should be watched. I think the game against Spurs, Aston Villa, and Wolverhampton Wanderers. So honestly, it's up to Liverpool. If they really, really want this, they need to be clinical. And just like I said in the last episode of Footy, when you come to this end of the season, there are two major factors for me: discipline and consistency. If you can key in those factors and work on them, you'll be shooing for the title. So they need to show the discipline, which they lack for me. Consistency, you can give it to them that they will score goals and they will win games. But I think the discipline is where they majorly need to work on now.
Well, it's Liverpool's title to lose, the 2 points ahead. The crazy thing about it is some of the teams they would play, your beloved team Arsenal, we still have to play them. Teams like Manchester United, teams like Tottenham, Aston Villa, Wolves, Liverpool still have to play, Arsenal still have to play this team. So it's a run in, and we don't know what can happen, twists and turns. So let's just use the opportunity